So EA finally announced F1 2026. Well, actually, it's not F1 2026, but the F1 25 2026 season pack. About time. Took them a while. I mean, I'm not surprised that it took them this long to actually announce it. Uh, because honestly, with the way the season has been going, it was to be expected. Honestly, things were a lot more shaky than we wish they were. Because of that, it took us quite a few months. I think we're behind schedule. I don't know. Actually, let me take a look. F125 actually released on May 30th. So we're not. It's not that far off. From what I can see, they're gonna do the reveal on May 20th, which is, it checks out. At least they're not behind, like too far behind schedule, but they were very silent for a while, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that when a company goes silent, you don't always have to do some marketing, even if it's simple. Just focus on what's important, on working on the game. And with the way the season has been going, with the rules, honestly, to make a game with that would be so difficult, especially with the way it was in Australia, and then after that China. It was a mess. Qualifying was a mess. The racing was all over the place in a sense. It was weird. That yo-yo effect when overtaking. Sure, some parts of the racing were actually a decent improvement. I wouldn't say a night and day improvement and where it's like, wow, this is so great. The overall look of it was not good. And if they were to put that in a game, especially imagine qualifying. Qualifying the way it was in real life in the game would be so weird. And on top of that, even for casual racers, those new rules would be so complicated. Like the game, F1 racing is already complex as it is in comparison to other forms of racing. Like even in the F1 games itself, although the physics are very simplified, the fact that you can manage ERS and all these other things in in real racing in other categories is very much set up your car for the track, the right TC and all that stuff if you have that, and then just run with it. You can run your whole stint with that. Maybe do some minor adjustments here and there, but overall, you can very much just stick with it. Stick with the same setup you got, just focus on driving. F1 up until 2025, the drivers had to manage a decent amount, but it was manageable. It wasn't crazy. And they would manage these things and change these settings throughout the whole race. But in 2026, the big 2026, it got weird, especially with all the stuff that's been going on. Now the drivers are doing a little less, but it's just the systems in general that are just too much. So to implement all of that into the 2026 season pack would not work. So now they're working it out. The last race in Miami was not too bad. Next up that's coming up is Canada. Wow. So we're gonna see how that one looks, and I'm sure it's gonna be actually pretty decent because Miami, the racing actually looked fairly decent, and this time it actually looked like F1 racing. So I enjoyed that race a little bit more. It was unfortunate with Ferrari, unfortunately. McLaren is competitive now, and Red Bull is getting up there too, so that's cool. So I don't know how the cars are going to look like in the 2026 season pack, if they're really going to handle that much differently, how EA is going to implement the systems of the new rules with the whole battery deployment, how they're going to use that. We will see. Now it's obvious that it's not going to be anywhere close to how it is in real life. But yeah, I am still waiting on Assetto Corsa on getting a proper car, say made by like Racing Studios or VRC. There is the free mod, but then if you want the CSP add-on, for some reason I still can't get that. If I could get some help on getting that, that'd be great. Because I don't know how to get that CSP version on the Assetto Corsa car. So I can't do the like, oh, let me try to beat the lap time or at least get familiar to the car. But I still want to wait on Racing Studios or VRC to release their version of the car when they do, because their cars always, especially in my opinion, it's VRC that is on top. Their car just like it feels realistic. We did get some feedback from Max Verstappen basically kind of hinting at the one from Racing Studios is the better one. Now I did drive their one, the Alpine version for Racing Studios, and that was decent. But yeah, so all that's besides the point. I wanted in before the 2026 thing, I actually wanted to just play through all the F1 games that I have from F1 2018 all the way up until 2025. But I haven't really gotten to that. I was kind of lazying about, and I shouldn't have done that. Now that I think about that, so it's totally my fault. Am I actually going to continue to do that? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe in the background. But for sure, when it releases, I'm just gonna jump right into it and then just play. I didn't play F1 25, so that will be interesting. I have the game, but I haven't gotten to play it. Anyways, we'll see how it is, because basically, if it's gonna be a full season pack, not only do we see the mattering behind, that means we're gonna get a new track. Are we gonna keep the old tracks? Because please keep the old tracks. I think we're only losing one track this year, or is it 2 tracks? I forget. But whatever track is already in the game, don't randomly delete it for some reason. I mean, we've already seen you guys can add even older tracks, but whatever, they're never going to do that. Maybe for 27, they're going to add everything. Who knows? Probably not. But for this one, like I said, new track. There's definitely going to be new car models. Now, the big thing that I'm curious about, are we going to get new physics systems? Like, are the cars going to handle quite differently from the 2025 car? Or is it going to be similar, but with less grip? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we already know they have less downforce. So is it going to be the same type of handling, just with less downforce? Or is it actually going to feel kind of like a different car, to which it basically should? The other thing that they're going to add, basically the last thing, is the implementation of the new rules in terms of battery deployment. Are we going to get all the details in that, where we can manually use boost, and then the whole clipping and all that stuff? Is it gonna be something that we can play with? Because what I mean by playing with, I mean, are we gonna be able to modify where we harvest and where we deploy? Say, like, similar to what we can do with the CSP version of the of VRC's F1 car, where we can map it out on the track exactly where we want to harvest, exactly where we want to deploy, and have those battery, techniques in? Or is it going to be just baked into the game, where it's by default doing its thing and we are just passengers? How is it going to be? I wonder how deep that's going to be. We're going to find out basically in 2 days time. And yeah, lots of things happening this year. And this week basically is also Canada. So okay, F1 is back, sort of. That was it for this video. Very simple. Since there's going to be more of that, then also I'm going to put videos on this alongside with a bunch of other creators. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, and tune in when I post, because I'm watching those other creators, and, we're all going to see what these guys are posting, such as Arava, Tom97, Tim and Marduk, Alex Gillen, etc., etc. So subscribe to this channel, press like, press the bell icon, follow on, as you help this channel grow, and we will see how this continues, basically. Yeah, see you guys next time. Goodbye.